What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GTB Ravens Media. I apologize. I'm a little bit losing my voice right now. Maybe it has something to do with last night's game because the Baltimore Ravens defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 35-34. If you guys were expecting a live stream, Joshua and I still plan on doing a stream. It'll probably be on Sunday after the Commanders game, or not Commanders, the Panthers game. I don't know why I said Commanders. Panthers-Giants game. It's in Germany. And if that game's bad, we'll probably start at around 12:15, 12:30 or so. Be about a half an hour stream to talk about that. But I just wanted to get my quick thoughts that you guys had content, over the next couple of days if anybody wants to watch. But this game was absolutely ridiculous, right? At halftime, looking at 14-7, it wasn't anything, crazy. I felt like watching the Ravens offense. I was getting frustrated because two of the first three drives, and it might have been three of the first four drives, the first play of the drive, the Ravens committed a penalty. They had multiple false starts, and then they also had a holding penalty. And when that happens on the first play of your drive, it just sets you back. And this is a team that, yes, they can play from behind. Yes, they can play behind the sticks. But the advantage they have is any time that they are on schedule, they're nearly impossible to stop, right? Derrick Henry gets you to 2nd and 6. The defense is looking like, okay, next time we'll get them back, right? That's why this Ravens offense is so good. So I feel like the offense was hurting itself with those penalties early in the game. Defensively, good and bad. Great pass rush. Weren't getting a lot of sacks. The Adafe struggled to bring down the quarterback, but Matabike had his best game of the year. He had 2 sacks. He might have had 3 sacks actually. Let me double check that. I think he had 3, honestly. He had 3 sacks. Nnamdi Matabike. Sorry, I think I said Justin. Nnamdi Matabike had 3 sacks, his best game of the year. I think he had over 10 pressures in the game. Adafe had pressures, just couldn't wrap up. Kyle Hamilton went down with the injury, and I was like, uh-oh. Is our season over? But luckily, it looks like it's good news. Rappaport said that it was the best possible news that you could hear. I think it's a sprained ankle or something like that, which again, it's not great, but compared to the other outcomes, pretty good outcome for the Ravens. But I think we have to give huge praise to the one player that consistently this season has played up to his level on defense. That's Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey is having probably the second best season of his career so far. I mean, he is locking down players. He's not allowing big plays, and he's creating turnovers, right? He had his first forced fumble in what felt like years against the running back. I think it was against Brown. Forces the fumble, and right when that happened, the game, Lamar Jackson, the whole team, the stadium, it switched, right? 4 straight touchdowns at the end of the game. Lamar Jackson, 290 total passing yards. I think he had 215 in the second half. It was unreal. I mean, he just gets in those modes. And back when I had my other podcast, my co-host Matt and I, we would always talk Lamar Jackson is maybe the only quarterback in the NFL. And if there's others, right, if you want to throw Mahomes in there, you want to throw Josh Allen, sure. But Lamar Jackson, it feels like when you tell him, right, it's the second half and you say, hey, you need to score in 5 straight drives, score a touchdown. Lamar Jackson, you're like, yeah, he's going to. It's going to happen. I have full confidence in him. When we need it, he's going to make that play. Not only on, 3rd down and he throws for 2 touchdowns. He goes out there and then gets the 2-point conversion because unfortunately Justin Tucker's kicking woes continue and he missed a field goal or missed an extra point. Lamar Jackson 2-point conversion. He makes the play. Lamar Jackson, scrambles left and does that, the fadeaway jump shot pass and then airplane celebration or whatever it was to Rashad Bateman. And you're just like, dude, what is this guy on? It's another plane what Lamar Jackson does. It's just, 25 completions, 290 yards, 4 touchdowns, 141.4 rating. Guys, Joe Burrow had 428 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. He had a 108 rating. Like, it's unbelievable what he's able to do, and Jamar Chase once again went off against the Ravens. I was pretty pissed at Zachary Orr in this game, because I felt like we were just putting Brandon Stevenson in an island a lot of the times, and some of the times it wasn't his fault. The deep post route, that was Marcus Williams. I don't know what Marcus Williams was doing. Marcus Williams is the problem is Eddie Jackson is just as unplayable as Marcus Williams is. At least Marcus Williams has made some plays in the run game, so I think he's better than Eddie Jackson. But man, when it comes to coverage, he is just he doesn't know what's what. Like he looks like he didn't get the playbook. Like he just goes out there and he's just like, I don't know exactly where I'm supposed to be. And you turn around and it's like, oh, Jamar Chase on a post. Like that part is frustrating, but third down, putting Brandon Stevens in a, just one-on-one with Jamar Chase. We did it on fourth down at the goal. He ends up getting called for a holding, and, Ravens fans were pissed about that. They're saying that Jamar Chase pushed off. I didn't think it was necessarily something that they were going to call consistently. And that's the same thing I see with the last play. Or not last play, but the Bengals 2-point conversion attempt, right? And Mike Gesicki is kind of flopping, flailing his body out there, and Joe Burrow gets like kind of hit in the head. And it's like, yeah, I think if that happens in the first quarter, I think that flag is getting thrown. But it's similar to like Hail Marys, right? Like you're not calling PI on a Hail Mary unless someone bear hugs and drags someone to the ground with the ball in the air, because they don't want a team to get bailed out like that. So, I think it goes both ways. I think, the Brandon Stevens hold, like, yeah, like I think he grabbed him. I felt like that's a fine call, right? The angle from the back, Judge, like he's not gonna be able to see the face, get like kind of pushed, and not everyone's watching the exact same player. So from the angle of the referee, it did look like a hold. But then on the Ravens side, it's like, okay, that was like that decided the game. They're not going to call a ticky tack follow through grazing the head with the game on the line. And same thing with like Mike Gesicki, he's getting pressed by two guys, and instead of like trying to fight through the route, which if he fought through the route and like tried to maintain his balance and then maybe stumbled, they might have thrown a flag. But because he just like gets some contact, throws both arms in the air and falls on the ground, like, dude, like you're kind of trying to oversell it right now. So, I think that was kind of an issue that I saw from the Bengals at the end, but they could have called it. I was kind of pissed that we put Brandon Stevens in one-on-one against Jamar Chase at the top of the screen. But that was a little bit frustrating. But I mean, it just comes down to this Baltimore Ravens offense it's so explosive. Shout out to Tylan Wallace, a breakout career game for him. I've talked about him as a guy that I wanted to see get more targets, and it wasn't just the 84-yard touchdown reception, right? He had the fake bubble to, I think Zay faked a bubble, Tylan Wallace wheel route, or seam shot, whatever it was down the sideline, hits him. Like I feel like Tylan Wallace, he's probably got the most sure hands on the team. I'm not gonna I don't want to jinx that man, but like he's got great hands. That's what he was coming out of Oklahoma State. So that was a fantastic play by him. And Lamar Jackson is kind of gaining trust in him. Deontay Johnson didn't see him a lot. He slipped on a play that Lamar Jackson threw to him. Unfortunate, but another thing that I love to see is we were concerned. I was very concerned after 3-4 weeks. I was like, dude, where's Mandrews? And Money Mark has been back at him and Lamar Jackson connection, their chemistry. It's, rivaled by one other duo in the NFL, and that's, Mahomes and Kelsey. But we're starting to see the things that made that duo so great, with Mark Andrews improvising, right? They run a mesh concept, two drags running into each other. And instead of him taking the drag, which would have been fine, he decides, hey, I'm going to take it a little bit upfield. Lamar Jackson recognizes it as soon as he does, floats the ball over the top. Mark Andrews gets open, catch, touchdown. These are things we didn't see out of him. We didn't see out of him for 4 years. And it seems like, I don't know how, but it seems like not just every year, it's like every few weeks, like Lamar Jackson's added a new thing to his game. The work ethic is like, you have to commend it. It's unbelievable watching this team, watching these players go out and put on the show that they do. But, my voice is my voice sounds terrible. I can't really talk much more. I'll be streaming on Sunday with Joshua. I might make a video tomorrow depending on my voice. I might have to rest it. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe for more, and I'll see all of you again next time.